campus. It hosts multiple events, badminton of course right now, but it also hosts handball matches, which is quite big in Europe, and public events like music concerts. But right now the focus is on the badminton. As we see on court 2, the tie between Thailand and Scotland. Thailand have taken a 3-0 lead, winning the first women's singles in straight games, followed by the women's doubles, and then of course the second women's singles. And then now we have the second of the women's doubles between Thailand and Scotland. Putita Supajirakul and Taerattanachai taking on Eleanor O'Donnell and Rachel Andrew. The players get ready to walk onto the court. There you go, Putita Supajirakul and Taerattanachai, one of the most popular players on tour, walking out to court 2, and they will be certainly looking to get off to a fantastic flying start in this Uber Cup. A very strong women's doubles pair, these two, and a very talented one as well. A good mix, very tall Putita Supajirakul there. And then of course we have Rachel Andrew and Eleanor O'Donnell from Scotland making their Uber Cup debut here and looking to do well in their match against the Thais as well. So, a lot to look forward to between the two. The Scotland team is down 3-0 in the tie, but you know, anything can happen, and 3-2 would certainly look good on their CV versus 5-0. Grania Somerville joins me in the commentary seat. Grania, this is their first meeting, of course, and we will expect that a lot in this tie, as Scotland are making their debut. So it is again a little mismatch in terms of how they're ranked, but it's the Uber Cup.
Exactly. Anything can happen here. There have been many upsets throughout many Uber Cups. But again, we see the Thai pair with the high ranking, more experience, and the favourites to win.
Yes, the players get ready to warm up on the court. They get a 2-minute warm up before the match starts. They've just had the coin toss, of course, and now it's just loosening themselves up before the match starts. The players looking forward to getting their Uber Cup campaign underway. Putita Supajirakul there. She's 25 years old. She's a very tall lady, 183 centimeters, ranked 24th in the world at the moment, but she was in the top 10 at one point with Taerattanachai. There she is. Now she is one of Thailand's favorites. I would say one of badminton's favorites as well. A really lovely lady. Always smiling but serious when on court, 29 years of age, so she's been around for some time now on the international tour, and also ranked 9th with Putita. So this is an interesting combination because, you know, they sometimes play together, but sometimes Sapsiri decides to focus on the mixed doubles and not enter tournaments for both, because she does have a big mixed double. So it's an interesting combination and how they will do against the Scottish Rachel Andrew, who's 20 years old, just 20 years old, 153 centimeters in height, born in Edinburgh, Scotland, ranked 140th in the world at one point. They don't have a ranking now because this is kind of like a scratch pair. They have not played together. They did get partnered up for a few tournaments, but that got cancelled, so they haven't really played on the international tour. Eleanor O'Donnell, who has played before in mixed doubles and women's doubles with different partners, not with Rachel Andrew. She's 23 years old, 168 centimeters tall, born in Bath, Scotland, ranked 488. So this will be interesting because this is almost like a scratch pair. They haven't had any time on the court, and they're taking on the Thai women's doubles, who also, if you look at it, haven't had the best, haven't had that much time on court, because Sapsiri does tend to focus on the mixed more. The service judge there was Kevin Bahn, of course, but before that umpire was Cornelia Schroeder, that we saw from Germany. And the players get ready to take to the courts. What are you expecting from this one then?
So I think the Thai pair, will bring a lot of power, a lot of speed, and it will be interesting to see how the Scottish pair handle it. You know, I'm sure they have a up-and-coming future ahead of them, like we saw earlier from Julie and Kira. So I think, you know, it'll be great for them to show what they're made of and see, you know, how they handle this speed, power and skill coming from the Thai pair. And as you mentioned, how Sapsari is focusing a bit more on the mixed doubles where, you know, I think she's been ranked as high as #1. But it's interesting to see how they were ranked #9 in the world in their women's doubles in 2018, and that's when Sapsari had her knee injury, I think it was, and had to take some time out. And then coming back from that, they haven't really been able to get back to where they once were, because, you know, being from the top 10, you'd kind of think that they would be able to get back there, but it's been a bit of a struggle, and now her focus has moved a bit more towards the mixed doubles for Sapsari.
Well, the match is about to get underway. Thailand will serve, Sapsari will serve to Scotland. That's a good rally to start with. That is the power that Putita brings to the game. And this is where the combination to me is interesting, because the power in Putita and Sapsari being fantastic in the net, of course, just on paper, it's almost like the perfect combination.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, you know, with Sapsari excelling in the mixed doubles, this style is kind of the same thing with Putita bringing such power from the rear court. But yeah, I think, you know, women's doubles has changed a lot, I guess, since 2018 when they were so highly ranked. So just trying to find their form still again.
What would be your plan if you were in Scotland's shoes, knowing you're going to take on Sapsari and Putita? What would be your plan, kind of going into this match?
Well, I have been in that position because I have played Putita and Sapsari before.
Yeah.
A big thing is to make the court big, because they're so strong, you know, in the hard and flat game, and Sapsari is so efficient around the net. You really need to try and make the court big, open up at the back court, really use those blocks to take the pace out, because when you're driving or lifting a lot, they can just gradually get on top of you and get that advantage. So being able to reset the point with the blocks and angles is really important, but it's definitely a tough task.
That's just out. And so it's 2-all. Scotland doing well to stay in the game this early on.
It is a bit of a shock when you first play Putita, because, you know, you never really play against a beautiful shot there from Eleanor, taking the pace out. You never really play against many players her height, so it's different, the shuttle coming from, you know, that steepness, and especially she jumps even as well, so she's that much taller when she jumps. It is a bit of a shock in women's doubles. But like we saw Eleanor do then, taking the pace out does work well against Putita, because she is so big. She, you know, is a little bit slow to have that initial push off and change of direction, so taking advantage of that works well.
Oh, that's just out as well. 3-all now in this match. First game in this second women's doubles rubber between Thailand and Scotland. She kind of, you know, her height, and Mayu Matsumoto is the other player who's really tall, and you
Yes.
know, when you play them, it's almost like you've got to change your perspective of how Asian players come at you in the match.
Exactly. When you do your lifts and your flicks, you really have to be aware of getting that little bit of extra height. So it's hard when you're in the habit of kind of having a kind of set range for those kind of shots and having to adapt it really in the moment.
Eleanor O'Donnell doing really well there at the net. And she's, of course, had some experience on the international tour. She's played in the mixed doubles, and, you know, that skill to be able to play in the mixed doubles and the women's doubles, you know, you get a whole new set of skills being able to play in both disciplines, right?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously as a girl, get a lot of front court skills used in the mixed doubles, which comes in handy in the women's doubles. So it's nice to be able to also play against the boys and have that added level of speed and power coming at you.
And I think a prime example of someone who's excelled and used those skills to good use is Chen Ching-Chen. Chen Ching-Chen at one point was like at the top of a game in both mixed and women's.
Yeah, she was dominating.
And she used to use those skills, that power that she picked up from the men's game, and she used to put it in the women's, and used to see that aggression and that power in the women's doubles that Chen Ching-Chen brought.
Yeah, kind of similar to Sapsari actually, how Sapsari has the mixed and women's doubles, and that both their partners in the women's doubles are kind of play that back player role, so they still have that more front court position even in their women's doubles, which is what they do in the mixed doubles. Good challenge there.
Oh, well played. There
Really using her height there. Pretty much any other player would have floated over them.
Yeah.
But that's the surprises that happen when you're against a giant like Petita.
And she uses her height well. She still moves around really well. With tall players, the center of gravity is a could be an issue.
Exactly.
But she does it well. She manages herself really well and her movement. Again, really well played.
7-4.
So they've obviously, Putita Supajirakul and Taerattanachai have played this year, but during the Asian leg was the last time they played as a pair. So it's been some time. That was in January. And they didn't have the best outing, which is why I think it's the fact that they don't play that often together that these days seems to be a factor. They lost to Polly and Rahayu quite early on in both the Yonex and Thailand Open. So they'll be looking to sort of up the game here at the Uber Cup, show that they're kind of back to being at their best, use these group stage matches to really warm up, because Thailand's group seems to benefit them, where they would be the favorites to go through in this Uber Cup. They're grouped in Group B with Spain, Scotland and India.
5-8.
A slow shuttle just staying in there. Nice counter. That's what Sapsari is so good at. She's, accustomed to boys smashing at her full pelt in the mixed doubles, so she can handle a lot more in the women's doubles and come up with great counters like that.
Lovely backhand. There.
You do see Sapsari cover Putita a little bit in the drop shots like that. She is that little bit quicker and agile to get to those.
So it's 10-5 now for Thailand. They're looking good in this first half of the first game.
Oh, goes for cross court.
Really making Rachel Andrew do the work there initially.
Thai pair are doing well, really making the Scottish girls work hard around the backcourt, whipping them side to side.
It's 11-5 at the game break, the mid-game break. Thailand in a 6-point lead, and they'll be happy with that so far. Looking to stamp their authority on this match right from the get-go.
How it actually works in Thailand is that there is the national team training centre, and then this pair, Pratita and Sapsuri, are actually part of the SCG training centre. So this is their coach from that they have there, and that's why they don't actually train with Rawinda and Jonglefan, which is you know, a little bit different to some other national training setups. But it's great that they're, you know, included in the team. Yeah, in like the national team for these events, whereas you see in other countries like, you know, Malaysia, where independent players, they don't have the opportunity, they're not even considered for events like these, which is, you know, as a player, I think super disappointing that they don't kind of get the credit and inclusion once they leave the national team. And that's why they kind of haven't mixed the combinations, like in Sudirman Cup, how Sapsuri partnered at Jonglefan, they can't really do that to trial in tournaments properly because they are kind of from different training groups.
But that would make it interesting for Deshapol then. Isn't Deshapol part of the National Training Centre?
No, so he's SCG as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes it simple then.
Yeah. So they're kind of limited in the crossover partnership options. Oh,
Just out.
would have been a beautiful shot if that went in. Nice touch by Pratita there, but just missing it.
13-6 now for Thailand.
6-13. Who's over?
They have partnered for quite a while, these two, Sapsuri and Pratita. They won, I remember they won the Thailand Open way back in 2016. And before that, they'd won some, you know, Grand Prix Gold tournaments as well. So they've been partners for quite some time now. And the most recent win was at the Thailand Masters in 2019, where they did really well.
Yeah, so during Sapsuri's injury in 2018, Pratita, I think, played with a couple of other girls within their club when she couldn't partner Sapsuri. And then, yeah, since Sapsuri's come back, she's really excelled in the mixed doubles. And they've, as I said, struggled a little bit to get back to what they once were, which was as high as world number 9.
Well, this will be a good run for them. That's 16-7 now. So this would be a really good run for them. There's quite a few matches coming up. And to get those under their belt and get some form and rhythm going as they go on a long tour, because they will also be involved in the Denmark Open and French Open. So it's a long couple of weeks still. And the more they play, the more confident they'll feel about their game. 17-7 now, 10 points for Thailand.
Oh, big jump out from Pratita.
18-7.
I wonder what the height deficit is between Pratita and Rachel. A little bit opposite ends of the spectrum.
19-7.
Pratita hitting some strong winners off the third shot there. Scotland will need to up their quality in the returns.
Oh, great. Lovely cross-court shot from Pratita Supajirakul. Just guiding the shuttle there.
Game point.
And
7.
just like that, it's game point. 27 for Thailand.
There's the good quality return from Eleanor that they need.
8-20.
And that was a fantastic net shot, net kill, if you want to call it, from Sapsiri Taerattanachai to close the game off. 21-8. They ran through that one, Thailand, and they'll be really happy with what they've done so far. Not just in this match, but in this tie, looking solid throughout this morning session. 21-8 in 14 minutes. So that was fast going from Thailand. And Scotland have plenty to do, but there is still an opportunity for them to come back, pick themselves up. Eleanor Donald, the more experienced player, I'm sure will be helping Rachel Andrew to find some kind of rhythm on the court, because it will. The one thing that was a little bit clear there was that the Thais were targeting Rachel a little more in that first game. Match point there, Sapsiri Taerattanachai finding, game point there. Sapsiri Taerattanachai finding the lines between the two players.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
So the players back on court now for the second game. They've changed sides. Sapsiri Taerattanachai to serve.
Second game. Level. Play.
Eleanor is doing well with her counters and stepping in afterwards to take the front court. Nice intercept there.
Show's over. 1 love. Show's over.
You can see that it's just a little bit hard for Scotland, even with that half-court lift, to get through the strong Thai defence.
Great exchange at the net there between Sapsiri and Rachel Andrew. Unfortunately, didn't quite go Rachel's way, but straight at her.
Scotland have been catching a few too many shuttles today.
Only they would be wishing it was cricket at this point. Wait.
Really nice, hard, flat cross-court drive from Sapsiri. Just bouncing off Eleanor's racket there.
Oh,
Nice backhand kill.
2, 4.
it's not easy when you're the debutante, if you want to call it, or a new team in the Uber Cup, and your first match is probably the toughest opponent in the group. Just to get ready for that, you know, will be quite hard for a team coming into this tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, but I think it's good to kind of, you know, give a bit of a wake-up call about the level that they need to bring for the future matches, and to kind of really understand how world-class some of these opponents are, and then, you know, when they get into the next group stages, playing the other opponents who aren't as strong as this pair, then they know kind of what to bring and the intensity and the focus that will help them win the next tie.
Get ready. Service over.
Scotland did surprise many people when they finished as semi-finalists in the 2020 European Women's Team Championship. That came as a big surprise. But even there, when they were in the group stages, they weren't the best team in their group, but they finished second, and they had the best runner-up performance, which allowed them to then carry on into the knockout stages. So it's what you learn in your group and what you can then take forward into the knockout stages. And in the quarterfinals, you know, they went through, they did really well, and they just lost out in the semi-finals at the European Team Championship. So that was a big learning experience for Scotland. And I'm sure not only do they bring that onto the courts here, but they probably use the same kind of thinking and learning as they progress into these group matches, or go through these group matches. It was just out, that return. 7-4 now for Putita Supajirakul and Sapsiri Taerattanachai. The Thai pair have been solid from ever since they started kind of playing badminton professionally. In the Junior World Championships in 2013, as way back in 2013, they finished bronze medalists. So their quality was on display from then.
Oh, good get back from Putita, and then beautiful net roll from Eleanor. She worked that really well there.
5-8.
That's a level that the Scottish girls are realising they have to bring to win a point against these two. I like that clear shot, mixing it up a bit, making the court big for the Thai pair.
She just missed that.
So I think that's what works best for them, is playing the big court, using the clear shots, hitting between the pairs and the line, you know, making it big, and then they can start to find the gaps in the Thai's defence. Otherwise, if they're just hitting hard and flat, the Thais are too strong at just standing there and getting it back. I really like the mixing up of the serves from the Scottish pair. I think especially Rachel, she's been flicking and drive serving, Putita especially. And, you know, with that height, it's kind of hard to adjust your body as much when you are returning. So it's been pretty effective, I think. Which is, you know, it's very intimidating to flick against somebody with her height. So quite courageous that she's continuing to do it.
So now it's 10-7 to the Thai pair. Just 1 point away to take the lead at the mid-game break. Oh, that was hard. It was a hard smash from Putita Supajirakul to give Thailand the 11-7 lead going into this mid-game break. In the second game, they've already taken the first game 21-8. So this is a good showing from the Thais. It is a confident and easy performance so far. Easy in the sense that it's been smooth going. Don't want to take anything away from the Scottish. They've done really, really well. They've kept track and kept up with the Thais, and especially the start of the games. They just have to pull through.
Yeah, being the favourites and kind of leading this much, it can be tempting to relax, but it's a bad habit to get into, relaxing in, you know, some of your matches, and then when it comes to the big one, it can be even harder to switch on and bring the quality that's needed. So just bringing your best level at every match is the way to go.
It was a nice backhand from Supajirakul from the back court. Just using the power there.
She does have this unique shot where she jumps up really high, but then the smash comes around the shoulder, which I have really struggled with from her, and I think that's what she just played then against Eleanor, where she was waiting for that, you know, steep defense after her big jump, and then it just kind of comes very hard and fast around the shoulder height. Nice net play there.
Oh, I knew that was coming. She left it the first time.
She was just a wall. It's too hard to get past her.
It must be really intimidating to have her stand in the front of the net when you're facing her, because you just feel like, what could you do to get past her?
Yeah, exactly.
That's an unlikely error from Sapsiri at the net. She was trying to go for the roll. Puchita succeeded this time.
16-8.
It's at 16-8 to Thailand. The points are coming hard and fast. Haven't seen many long rallies in this match.
17.
I have to say, they've kept the points quite short.
Yeah, I think that the Taipei have been able to find the gaps a bit more easily these last few points around the court.
That is in.
It's over.
That was in.
9-17.
It's 9-17. A couple of good returns there from the Scotland pair.
10-17.
That was lovely placement from Puchita Supajirakul. Just at the corner,
18-10.
across the net, drop shot, falling just on the line. And even though Rachel Andrew made it, she couldn't get enough on it. So 18-10 now.
It's just those kind of shots that are unexpectedly cut off by Petita, but then she can really capitalise on.
It's 2 points away from sealing this match. Puchita Supajirakul and Sapsiri Taerattanachai. Another net error from Rachel Andrew means it's match point for Thailand.
10.
Got 10 match points to try and finish this match off. Don't think they'll be needing as many. So on the first time of asking, it is Thailand who seal victory. Pujita Supajirakul and Sapsiri Taerattanachai defeating Rachel Andrew and Eleanor O'Donnell 21-8, 21-10. That was a supreme performance from the Thais. The doubles now done in this fixture, and they will be really happy because both the doubles got straight games wins, and that will certainly help them prepare as they progress on to the next group matches. There is one more match to come, of course, the third of the women's singles, but just look, they're really happy. You get smiles across and peace signs.
Look at the sweat on Petita's face and then having to go and put the mask on.
Are you feeling the pain, aren't you?
Just have to be rotating through the mask here as I get sweaty so quickly.
But well, there you go. That's a match point there again. So Petita dominating the play there. Sapsiri with the aggressive smash from behind the court that then forces the error of Eleanor O'Donnell's racket. So, fantastic play from Thailand. Overall, they were just in a very dominant mood, I'd say. 21-8, 21-10 in 26 minutes. They've just pushed Thailand up by one more match to 4-0 in the overall tie. So the last of the women's singles coming up in Pitayapon, Chaiwan, taking on Lauren Middleton here on court 2. Hello from Aarhus. It's a beautiful day in this Danish city, and you're watching the sights of the marina in Aarhus. It's right by the sea, the city, and so there's a lot of great seafood, good sailing, very much part of the Danish culture.